Ice Center regular season finale in girls hockey. Tonight it's the Maple Grove Crimson taking on the Wayzata Trojans as they get set for playoff time. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, Wayzata, by Wayzata standards, not the most wins this season, but they've got a young team with a lot of talent. They got a win on Saturday to break a losing streak, and they're kind of looking at this as a chance to build into playoffs against a good team.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, when you lose 12 seniors and you only got 4 coming back, all the rest, you got a lot of freshmen and sophomores, that's going to hurt you record-wise. But with the schedule they played, they got better because they played a murderous schedule, and they had to get that pace up. So they're kind of encouraged by what's happened, and they think they're getting better at this point of the season.
Maple Grove's been a top team all year long. They were state runner-up last year. They come in with 19 victories here. They're looking at this as one final tune-up before playoffs as they jump into that Section 5 AA tournament.
Yeah, they are, and they are real happy with the section seeding, too. So they might be starting to prove something tonight before they go into sections. They're an awesome team. They got 5 D1 players committed on this team. They can do it all. They can score, play tight defense, might have the best 2 goalies in the state on this one team. So they're always fun to watch, and we'll see what they can do tonight.
Sometimes coaches are looking to get, one last good game in before playoffs too. I think it's become a little more common to see some teams scheduling on this Tuesday, which in a lot of cases in the past they wouldn't have wanted to. You want to rest up and get ready for the playoffs, but I think they don't want to lose that edge from the rest of the regular season.
Absolutely not. In this thing now, with 1 game left to play, they got an idea where they're going. So they have some goals that they can put into this game they might not have had before based on the section seeding that they got. This is an important game for both teams to prove something here. And like you said, tune-up, yeah, they don't want to stop. They want to keep playing. So it stays into a regular routine and schedule. And I think it helps all the teams that are involved here go into sections playing the way they should be.
Let's talk about key players for tonight's game. Both of them wear number 10, coincidentally enough, for Maple Grove. Sophomore Manon McMahon has had a really nice year for the Crimson.
Oh, keep your eye on that camera tonight. I'm telling you, she is fast. She's aggressive. She's got 4 short-handed goals for the Crimson, and she is a heck of a player. You'll notice her right away. And she tends to pick them up when they're in the doldrums, too. I mean, she'll get a goal when they absolutely need it. And she's a heck of a player. She's committed to UMD, and it's going to be a future Bulldog.
And for the home team, Wayzata, Natalie Heising was out of town with the U.S. national team. Hasn't actually picked up a goal since coming back, so they think she has a possibility to get herself really going tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they're going to get anywhere in sections, tonight's the night. She's playing one of the better teams in the state. For her to step up, she's got it. She's got a scoring touch. I mean, she just might be tired from the trip, but she's a player, and she does it all. Up and down, plays defense as well as she plays offense. She's headed for Penn State, and Penn State don't give out scholarships to people who can't play. So we'll keep an eye on her tonight.
All right, the Crimson and the Trojans get set for playoffs. The regular season finale in girls hockey coming up next here on CCX Sports.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
And welcome back to Plymouth Ice Center. Maple Grove in black and Wayzata in yellow as we get set to face it off here. Taylor Wente will face it off against Natalie Heising, and we are underway as Maple Grove gaining possession first here. Trojans now circling back and will play it in their zone and banked out ahead towards Sophie Urban. Play broken up there along the wall, and now Urban jumps in to pick it up for the Trojans. Urban chased to the corner here, trying to get it back out to the point. Emily Wisniewski couldn't hold the zone and pushed down the rink, and it's going to be an icing call here against Maple Grove. So we will head back into the Crimson zone here. There's a look at Coco Francis, part of the dynamic duo, as Dan said, goaltenders. Look at those numbers, 11 and 2, but a .945 save percentage and a goals against below 1 for Coco Francis.
You don't see that very often, I'll tell you. One goals against of less than 1. And she's headed off to Union College to play college hockey.
Trojans a nice face-off win. Stick save there by Francis on the point shot by Megan Marshall. Back out it comes to the point now. Annika Swanson. They look for the tip in front. That one never quite made it to the net. Wayzata a couple nice shifts to start the game here. Reversed around now to Andrea Coons for Maple Grove. Onto the stick of Aaron Roll, but then the pass got away. And it comes loose again in the slot. Wayzata almost had some trouble finding that one in their defensive zone. Dig for it along the wall, and then the pass behind the net was intercepted by Sydney Remark. Trojans unable to clear it though. Dumped back down deep by the Crimson, and Megan Marshall pick it up as Maple Grove changing on the fly here. Alexo Sells pass, a dangerous one into the middle of everyone, and fresh off the bench, Casey Johnson dumps it in where Francis will stop it. Crimson getting a rush going there with Sydney Hansen. Plays it deep into the Wayzata zone. Back out to the point, and a long try there. A bouncing puck, and it is in.
Oh, my.
Unfortunate bounce there for Wayzata, and Grace Boswell-Healy, their goaltender, said he hits a player in front, and a bit of a fluky goal, but it'll count just the same as the Crimson get on the board first.
Oh, it hit a D in front. She was trying to block it, and then she kind of hesitated. It came off her odd and went into the left side as the goalie was coming over to the right side, and you can see he's caught her out of position. Oh, what an unfortunate set of events. The Trojans came out with a little fire here, you know. They had some good offensive push here at the beginning of the game, and Maple Grove finally was getting them, but what an unfortunate bounce for the Trojans. But Maple Grove up 1-0.
Callie Precker will get the goal. Paige Casibo the assist for Maple Grove. So a 1-0 lead after it takes a bad bounce off a Wayzata defender out front.
Well, Precker's one of a trio of really good D for Maple Grove between Hansen, Precker, and Campa. Boy, I'll tell you what, they can get up and move, play solid defense, but can really move the puck.
It'll be her first goal of the season. Maybe not the storybook way you want to get it, but it counts just the same in that score column, right, Dan?
Yeah, I'm sure she's going to give it back.
Pass tipped there, and Maple Grove will have to regroup again as Sydney Hansen comes back to get it. Hansen fighting off a forecheck, got the pass ahead, and a nice one it is. 2-on-2 on the rush there, but Maya Martinez has it knocked away. Pass back across Coons. And there was quite a few times in this rivalry when, for a long time, Maple Grove just could not beat Wayzata. Now the last year or so, they've kind of flip-flop roles a little bit in that. But here's Campa from the point, and then a redirection out front goes just wide.
Well, we were talking to Coach Christopherson of Wayzata earlier, and she feels that, you know, defensively, the Trojans play very well. They're very solid, very disciplined, do a good job. Their problem's been scoring this year, and they've had some very close games. They've played a lot of the Lake Conference teams very close, and I'll tell you what, that's a loaded conference again this year.
Campa backpedaling with that one. Pass was broken up, a little collision there, and Sydney Remark won that physical battle. Now Crimson on the move with Coons. And then dumped into the Wayzata zone. Maple Grove trying to finish a change. The breakout pass was behind its intended target and dumped right back in by Coons. Back to get it there is Megan Marshall for Wayzata. Maple Grove a little slow on the change, but now their D pair gets out there. Here's the rush, and the shot is on target there as Jackie Russo, one of the captains for Wayzata, puts one on net. And Coco Francis able to make the stop. There's a look at Grace Boswell-Healy, the junior who is split time in net this year with Stephanie Garvis, and you see her numbers so far this year. She's given up one already, but boy, it was a
that wasn't her fault.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I mean, it just a puck that hit somebody in front, changed direction, and so unfortunately we had to give her an introduction based on that first goal. But she has a chance to atone for that and get things going here for the Trojans as they trail at 1-0. Addie Hackley's pass ahead there to Maddie McCollins. Now they swing it over right side looking for Urban. Falling behind the net there was Heising. Coach Christofferson, of course, in her first year as Wayzata's head coach, and said, you know, they've got a lot of young talent, players who have been on very successful teams on the way up, and the future is definitely bright. It's been this year a little bit inexperienced at varsity level hockey. Here's Emily Herdeen carrying it to the middle. Lost it, but gets it back.
Well, a perfect example is number 4, Sophie Urban of Wayzata. She's a freshman, and she's the second leading scorer on the team. You know, so the future is bright. You know, they're going to take their lumps here for a year because they're just inexperienced. And my God, with the schedule they played, especially just being in the late conference, you know, you can't do nothing but grow, you know, and get better with the pace that's played in this conference. And it's showing on some of the young kids here.
Tampa firing, and that one sails wide. Looked like she might have been looking for a tip there on the weak side. Kept in briefly, but then dumped out. This is going to be icing against the Trojans, and we will come back into the Wayzata zone with 11:14 to play here in this first period, and both teams getting set for playoff action. Here's a look at Amber Hegland's second year at Maple Grove. Not a bad way to start last year. Took him all the way to the state final, and of course she was the longtime coach here at Wayzata, and then had a stint working as assistant over at Armstrong Cooper in between. So, and in fact, until this school year, Amber still worked at Wayzata and was still the softball coach at Wayzata. Now she is in District 279, and so, but obviously plenty of ties to that school and this building as well.
Well, Wayzata's lost, it's 279's gain, and she's a tremendous hockey coach. Done a great job with this Maple Grove team, and got them over the hump, got them in the state for the very first time in their history, and she's got an abundance of talent and really knows how to work with it. So
Crimson buzzing the net here. First save made, second one is in. And Maple Grove will go up by a 2-0 count as Taylor Wente set up the first play and then got to the rebound herself and buries it. So it's a 2-0 lead. As you see, the nice pass out front to Martinez. Her shot stopped, but Wente went right where she should for that rebound and buries it.
She came around the net and came back up front and got the puck and put her in the upper shelf. Got her 23rd goal of the year. Committed to the Minnesota Gophers. Going to be there next year playing with that team. Heck of a player. Yeah, the trouble that goes on with the teams that have to play Maple Grove is they spread you out so much. They can go up to the top of the point when it gets tight down low. They get in front of the net, and here we go with the rebound situation. They're always around the net, and they've got natural scorers. There
is a look at Coach Christofferson, coached for a while at her alma mater, Coon Rapids. She played high school hockey for the Cardinals and then at St. Thomas, and taking over in this Wayzata program, which has, you know, obviously there's a lot of players in both these youth systems and high school programs. So the future should be pretty bright, I think, for both teams. Now, as you were mentioning before the game to both coaches, it's so nice to see young women behind the benches of these girls' hockey teams, and good coaches too. I mean, both these ladies played hockey at a high level. They know the game, and they're giving back to it now, and I think that's just great for women's hockey. Centering pass try there broken up. Hansen, the defenseman, pinching in to try and keep that one alive. And now the Trojans get it back. Battle for it near the blue line. And the battle won there by Maple Grove's Peyton Olson. Now Maple Grove obviously has a lot of experience on their team this year. And there's a pass out front. But next year they're going to be in a little bit like Wayzata's this year, where you're going to see a lot of new faces in their varsity lineup. So kind of look at this as last year and this year as sort of their years with this real potent group. Yeah, and the thing about high school hockey, there's no trades, there's no free agents. You got to go with what done come to you. And yeah, next year they might take their lumps. They're really going to be hurting in goalie. You know, they're going to lose these Blessy and Francis. Oh my gosh. Turnaround try here. Collision out front. Penalty upcoming here against Maple Grove, I believe. There was a collision in front, and more often than not, when you're the team defending in front of your own net and there's a little tie-up like that, you're probably going to get the call, and that's exactly what we see. So I think it's Hansen who's going to go here for a hook.
Well, here's an opportunity for Wayzata to improve right now. They've got a 19% power play, which is about 6 points below, what a power play should be. So if they're hurting for scoring, this would be a good opportunity for them to get that power play revved up before sections and maybe have it be as a potent weapon for them.
Poked out of the zone by Kampa there. So it is Hansen for a hook, and we got a good look at it there on the replay, and it was definitely a correct call, I would say.
Yes.
Crimson able to gain possession here, though, and a lot of room on this big Olympic rink for a skater like Taylor Wente to kill time or press the action the other way as well.
Now keep your eye on number 10 for Maple Grove. She's out there right now. And she's got 4 shorthanded goals this year, Jay, and has been a tremendous penalty killer.
Playing keep away right now. Kampa gets it to Wente, and they just can't catch her to really force her to give up the puck here. Bank pass ahead. McMahon just missing for Wente there, but obviously no icing to worry about when they're shorthanded here, so it slides down the rink. The only good news, I guess, if you're Wayzata, is that you're tiring out a couple of Maple Grove's top players when they were out there skating around a lot, but you're not. That's really searching for a silver lining there.
Yeah. But every opportunity, it's always an opportunity to get better.
Trojans get it in deep here, trying to get their power play set up. About 40 seconds to go with the player advantage. Fan down there from the circle. Heising trying to get that puck back away from Kampa there. Now it comes back down to Natalie Heising, but couldn't maintain control and dumped out to center. Marshall at least kept it from going all the way down. 20 to go in the power play for Wayzata, and they have had nothing doing on it so far. Maple Grove killing most of the time. That's offside on that long rink-wide pass trying to go to the freshman Sophie Urban. Well, Coach Christofferson, I thought was pretty upbeat still. I mean, obviously Wayzata, like we said in the pregame, many years, not very many below 500 lately, which they're going to be this year. But she kind of recognized that they were, in a little bit of a rebuilding year with as much as they graduated from last year, and a lot of the younger players are good players, but hadn't played varsity hockey. It's a little more physical, maybe a little deeper teams that you're facing and everything too.
Well, when you look at a roster layout with 10 freshmen and sophomores, playing for you in and out throughout the season, I mean, that bodes well for your future. And, the other thing we got to remember is that one of our leading scorers from last year, Lindsay Check, was hurt before the season even started, tore ACL, and lost her for the season. I mean, that would have been 14 goals right there, Jay. That might have improved their record dramatically.
Intercepted, but then a giveaway as Remark couldn't quite get a shot away as Kampa jumped back in to help break that up. We'll be taking a look at a nice story on Tina Kampa that our Jason Melillo did with that coming up in the first intermission. A spark plug back there. Back to the point now, and the Trojans. Katie Hamid trying to keep it in now. Battle for it, and the puck won back by Sydney Remark. Gets it ahead now to Anna Laugen. Both teams without a player or two tonight as well. In addition to Lindsay Zek, we also have Mandy Rezabak is out with an illness for Wayzata, and Mia Lidbeck also not playing tonight. And then for Maple Grove, same thing, Katie Denicky is sick. Oh, defenders fall. And here's Wente in all alone, and she scores 3-0. That was going to be a tough one to stop anyway, and then both defenders fell, and Wente bearing down on the net and pops a water bottle there. 3-zip Crimson.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate set of events. I'm kind of feeling bad for the Trojans right now, and then it had to be Wente, right? The second leading scorer, now the leading scorer in the team, and she just finds that 5-hole beautifully and just gets it up and in the net. 3-0 lead for the Crimson.
That'll be an unassisted goal for Taylor, and 24th of the season. That comes at 11:28. So now 3-0 Crimson.
Well, with the Crimson section and stuff, boy, they need for Wente and these top scorers to really get hot, and it's a good sign. She's already got 2 goals tonight. They're going to need her down the stretch here.
Race for it up the left side, but Maddie McCollins can't get there yet. In the second intermission, Dan and I will kind of really go over the playoff sections for these two teams a little bit more in depth, as they already do know their first opponents. Maple Grove will be playing Champlain Park Saturday, and over at Roseville, and that same day, Wayzata plays Benilde at Parade Ice Garden. So for a long time, these teams were in the same section, but that changed last year.
Yeah, I remember, like you were talking earlier, Wayzata would have this thing about upsetting Maple Grove in the sections, even though Maple Grove came in with a higher seed.
Yeah, that happened more than once.
Yes, it did.
Puck flipped high across. 4:45 to go in the first. Maple Grove trying to build on a 3-0 lead. McMahon puts it out front. Here's Martinez's shot, and Boswell Healy hits the pads down to block that one. Maple Grove's had one kind of fluky goal and two pretty nice ones so far here, and they've pretty well controlled play, although maybe not as much as what the 3-0 score would lead you to believe.
I got to be honest with you, I think it should be 1-0. I'm looking at that and some of the unfortunate events for 2 goals there. I mean, my gosh, and how often does that happen throughout the season here? You know, you kind of look at it and go,
Here's Kampa joining the rush now as the defender going out wide, circles around looking for help as they're changing behind her, kept possession and softly puts the pass down low. And finally the Trojans able to win that puck back, and coming out of there with it was Hamid. Dumped in deep into the Maple Grove zone, trying to dig it free was Casey Johnson, but the Crimson out of there with it. Ooh, a dangerous pass there, but Kampa able to tip it out to center. Trojans dump it right back in. Under 3.5 to play now in this first period, and a 3-0 Maple Grove lead. It's the last regular season game of the season for both these teams. Tried to look for a tip out front there, but Laugen couldn't get her stick to it. Got some youth hockey players lining up, getting ready. They're going to be playing in the intermission here as well. That shot blocked as Aaron Roll tried to fire it on goal. Battle for it at center, and a nice job. Good strength on the puck there by Paige Casibo, and now she'll circle back with it here. The other thing you see when you're seeing, seniors against freshmen or sophomores, usually a little bit more strength.
yeah.
Obviously everybody's body type's different. It's not a hard and fast rule across the board, but that's often the case. Taken away by Urban as she leads the rush back the other way, trying to bank it ahead for Heising. Crimson didn't panic though and made a nice pass from D to D. Now Casibo leaving the puck there nicely for Ellie Corbin, but they're offside as Martinez unable to hold up there at that little move at the blue line. So a whistle here with 2:08 to go in this first period, and Coach Hegland, I think she was not too happy about the seating for sections, but I think in a way it's giving their team maybe a little bit something to be under their skin and kind of play with a chip about, and so maybe that won't be such a bad thing for them.
Oh, we were talking to her just before we did the Breck game. They were playing Breck, and they just lost to Spring Lake Park, which I think made about half the hockey state drop their jaws. Like, are you kidding? They lost them with, Coach Hagelin said, that might have been the best thing that could have happened to them, because they're feeling pretty good about themselves, or, beating some good teams, and all of a sudden they found out that on any given night, if they don't play well, they could get beat.
Nice setup there by McCollins.
Very nice.
Heising couldn't quite direct it on net. Wayzata would really like to get one before the period ends here to kind of make it a manageable deficit a little bit. Back to center and then dumped right back in by Wisniewski as the Trojans will change up. Here's McMahon receiving the pass on the right wing and has a head of steam coming. Shooting, Boswell Healy the save, and she's not going to take any chances. She'll pounce on that one and force a face-off here with 1:17 to go in this first period. And a 3-zip lead for Maple Grove.
You see McMahon come coming down here and just got a shot in the 5-hole, and Boswell Healy had a little trouble with it. And she probably wants to get into the locker room as quickly as possible and just get settled down. She's had a couple of unfortunate goals scored on her that I don't think really were her fault.
Under a minute to go in the period. Here's a shot. Francis just directs that aside as Osell didn't get much of that one at all. Now that pass got away and dumped right back into the corner there by Hamid for Wayzata. Remark gaining control here. Under 40 seconds to play. Putting it out front and a backhand try, but never made it toward the net. Crimson coming back the other way. Dumped in behind the Wayzata net. Trojans, there's a giveaway and an opportunity, a shot and a goal. 4-0. As a giveaway costs Wayzata right there, and it's buried by Casibo.
Paige Casibo at the right place at the right time. Just bounced off a stick and turned into a turnover, and bang, then it turned into a goal. Kind of bounced off the stick funny of the Trojan player there, and all of a sudden it's in the upper left-hand shelf, and Casibo buries it. Big 4-0 lead for the Crimson now. That hurts, boy. That was in the last minute of play. Oh, my gosh.
They're going to give Pius an assist on that goal. I thought it was directly on a pass from Wayzata, but we will get to the end of the first period here with a 4-0 lead for Maple Grove. We'll be back with more of our live coverage of girls high school hockey on CCX Sports.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. 4-0 Maple Grove after one period. We're joined by Wayzata head coach Jess Christofferson, and boy, kind of a tough first period in terms of just about everything that could have went wrong in a couple of those situations. I didn't think your team played that bad of a period, but how did you guys feel about it?
Yeah, no, I think we actually did a lot of really good things. I think we're fairly gritty. We were cycling the puck a decent amount of the time, but they come down and get a couple goals that probably shouldn't have ended up in the net, and it's kind of a backbreaker, and certainly to be down 4-0 after one isn't what we were looking for.
What do you talk to the team about in the intermission to try and pump them up a little bit and say we've still got a lot of game to go in this one?
Yeah, like we were saying on the bench, we're getting a lot of chances, and they haven't been real high quality chances, but we've been able to sustain some pressure in their end. I think, if anything, they shouldn't be afraid of this team. We were able to do some things, like I said, and defensively we got to step up as a team and make some better plays, and just got to regain some confidence here, I think, a little bit.
Not too long till playoffs obviously is getting started on Saturday. How do you feel about your team coming in, and what are some of the things you need to do well to have a chance to succeed in that 6AA tournament?
For sure, we got to find the net. We're in a big-time scoring slump over the last couple weeks, and we've played some really great hockey, and it hasn't shown up for us on the scoreboard. So it's a big mental grind right now, and that's the way it gets at the end of the season when you're playing teams like we are, and so we just got to fight through it and believe in what we're doing.
Jess, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way. I'm sure the second and third will be a little bit different periods for your team.
I hope so. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jess Christofferson, the head coach of the Wayzata Trojans. They've got some youth hockey going on, U8 action out on the rink here in this first intermission. We'll come back with more of our live coverage here on CCX Sports.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience, and as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
end-to-end action here on the U8 frontier between periods here in the Wayzata Youth Hockey Association. Some great skaters out there. Their varsity team right now, though, trailing Maple Grove by a score of 4-0. And one of the players that's been a key cog in the Maple Grove machine these last few years, defenseman Tina Campa. She's going to be playing for Bemidji State. And Jason Melillo of CCX Sports got a chance to meet Tina on our Sports Jam show, and here's a look at that story.
Tina Campa says she's one of the most passionate people you'll ever meet, especially about the game of hockey. The diminutive defenseman is enjoying her senior season with the Crimson.
Most of us have started when we were probably first or second grade all the way up until now, and you know, some of the teammates that are actually going on to play college hockey I played with for countless summers and all that, and so all year round, and I just really enjoy, you know, being able to be around them. And it's, you know, like I said, like, a lot of them are my best friends, and I definitely just enjoy the time that we have together, and I can't wait to finish it off this year.
Maple Grove is ranked second in the state, following up on a 2016 playoff run that brought the Crimson all the way to the state championship game.
We did lose in the championship game, but we took great strides within our just program in general, and you know, I've never been happier with where we are now, and I can't wait to, you know, use that experience and that success and fuel us for this year.
Campa is a smart hockey player, and over the years has tailored and refined her game.
Obviously I'm small, and so most people don't assume that I play defense, but I think I have to use that to my advantage. So I can move pretty well agility-wise, and you know, I may not have the long reach or the, you know, just the big slapper all the time, but I do what I can. So I try to, my skating is what I focus on a lot, because if I'm not so big, I can't just poke check everybody. And I use my quickness and my agility to the best that I can. I think I see the ice very well.
She is so precise on playing one-on-ones and two-on-ones and positioning in the defensive zone that she doesn't need to have a long reach, and she doesn't need to have room for error because she's a near-perfect defenseman.
Campa also plays lacrosse at Maple Grove, a sport she didn't pick up until 7th grade. On the Crimson varsity since her freshman year, Campa is a forward in lacrosse, something she says has benefited her on the ice.
I think that you get a different perspective, obviously, because, you know, I'm more focused on scoring goals than I am, you know, stopping them. And I think that whether or not I realize it, I think I've learned a lot about just my game in both sports. You know, like when I'm on the defense, you know, it's not just about defense. You know, I can be offensive too, and I can do different things. And I think I understood my skills and kind of where I can benefit the team most for both sides.
Campa will head north after high school and play hockey at Bemidji State, possibly majoring in psychology or exercise science, two fields of study that could be beneficial in the future.
I ultimately want to be a Division I hockey coach, and I think both of those could kind of benefit me in different ways for that.
She has a tremendous hockey IQ and thinks the game at a very high level. She, I have no doubt, is going to be successful as a coach. That, as well as her personality and her approach to people and just being outgoing and wanting to see the best in people, are going to lead her to a great career.
So it's been a great career and a great season for Tina Campa and all of her teammates, and now a 4-0 Crimson lead after one period here over Wayzata at Plymouth Ice Center. We will see if the Trojans can work their way back into it, or if Maple Grove's going to put it away early tonight. We'll be back here to Plymouth in just a moment on CCX Sports.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Welcome back. Our new Dasher board sign up, CCX Media, here at Plymouth Ice Center. 4-0 Maple Grove leading Wayzata after one period. And we'll take a look at some first period highlights. And obviously it's going to be mostly Maple Grove here as they'll get one early on. A shot thrown at the net. It bounces off the defender and in. A little grin there for Precker as she gets her first goal of the season there. And the defender for Maple Grove, and then Wendy puts it out front. First shot stopped on the attempt by Martinez, and Wendy gets there to hammer the rebound home. And then Wayzata, a little unfortunate situation here. A couple defenders collide, and Wendy goes in alone, pops it through the 5-hole there to make it 3-0. And then a backbreaker late in the last minute. They will give up another one as a giveaway, and Casibo into the circle and snaps that one past Oswell Healy for a 4-0 Crimson lead. And you see the shots on goal, 9-6. So Wayzata maybe didn't get a lot of good chances, but they, maybe didn't get outplayed as badly as what that score looked like, as Coach Christofferson said here. Only penalty of the period was against Maple Grove Sydney Hansen, which they killed off with no trouble whatsoever. So we'll come back with period number 2. Wayzata looking to bounce back a little bit. Maple Grove looking for more of the same here. 4-0 Crimson, our score on CCX Sports.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center along with Dan Ficken. I'm Jay Wilcox. Thanks for joining us for girls high school hockey on CCX Sports. A non-conference game here to end the regular season, and Maple Grove up big on Wayzata 4-0 after one. As you look at some of the banners for Wayzata girls and boys hockey, been a little bit of a tougher season than they're used to on both the boys and girls side at Wayzata. But as I always say, there's not going to be anybody feeling sorry for the mighty Wayzata Trojans either.
No, so many people like to have that type of feeder program, so they have one down here, big deal. They're coming back because their youth teams are just tremendously successful. I mean, Coach Christofferson said too, playing Edina, here varsity, we lose them, but these kids have beaten Edina their whole youth time playing hockey, so you're not afraid of them, but it'll come, I'm not worried about the Trojans at all. The next few years they're going to have a very good team, and they'll be just fine.
For Maple Grove right now, they're obviously eyeing a possible return to St. Paul, but I think it's, it's important for them to remember too that just because it happened last year doesn't mean it'll happen again for sure. You've got a couple, at least 2 really good teams that you might have to get through, Centennial and Blaine.
Oh, no question about it. That is a tough section to get through, but they definitely have the ability. They definitely have the players. And, they've stumbled a little bit this year, and I think that's always a good thing for a team. I don't think you want to come in undefeated or, in this huge winning streak, Have a little bump in the road to get your head re-straightened out, to know that you've got to play every game 3 periods. But they definitely have the ability to do it, Jay. It's a very good hockey team, and I could very well see them running off with the big trophy at the last night of the season. So it'll be interesting to watch now as these sections start.
For Wayzata, I think they're coming out. You just have to kind of play loose and say, all right, that first period was a little bit of a disaster, but we just got to put it away.
Well, a couple things. First of all, stop the turnovers. Okay, they gave the puck over way too much in their own zone against a team that can kill them. Number 2, just forget the bad breaks that happen. Just take it 1 goal at a time. Just get the first goal, then worry about the second one.
Crimson looking to break it out here. Long pass ahead. Here's Martinez coming in one-on-one. Shoots, and that one deflected over the net as Megan Marshall got a stick on it. Trojans trying to break it out here up their left wing side, but denied on that opportunity as Coons kept it alive. Here's a centering pass, and it's knocked wide by McMahon. Now put out front again and knocked aside. Maple Grove not wasting any time, getting a good first shift going here. They had a couple relatively slow ones to start the game. And now this one comes in on net. Wendy a poke at it, but Grace Boswell-Healy able to cover it up here for the Trojans.
Well, I think the one thing you said too in between periods, Jay, is, they came out skating with their legs. You can see a nice opportunity created here. They want to put this thing away. They want to have it no doubt as soon as they possibly can.
Hansen sweeps it down to the corner here. Battle for it and kept alive. Now back out to center. Hansen trying to dump it back in. It goes off a skate on Wayzata's clearing attempt there. Carried ahead by Wisniewski, and that shot banging wide. A long rebound off the end boards. Hansen now getting some room to bring it up ice for Maple Grove. Oh, 3-on-2 here. Hansen carries it wide. It goes off the side of the net. She gets it right back, puts it out front. And the second shot hit a defender as there was a great opportunity for the trailer coming in. Peyton Olsen. Now banked into the Maple Grove zone as Wayzata will change up. Carried hard up the left side here by Precker. Puts it out front, but Maple Grove was changing. She was actually the only Crimson player on the ice other than the goalie, Francis, and played it to a wide open area.
Well, that's what happens when a D kind of carries the puck into the offensive zone. They're, oh, now what do I do?
Yeah, she looked around like, where'd all my friends go? Now the puck jabbed away there as Casey Johnson tried to get it. Trojans do get the puck in deep, a battle for it back there. Anna Laugen working hard offensively there, and dumped to the ice was Russo, but not enough to draw a penalty there. Comes back to the point, and it just hopped out as Hamid tried to control that one. Pretty good hands actually to do what she did, but couldn't quite keep it in.
Just trying to get ready to rip that shot, and she just got it about a half-inch over the blue line and caused the offside. So they had a good opportunity there.
Off the draw, Crimson end up with it. Passes behind Martinez into the Wayzata zone. Heising trying to come up with it. Now Mackenzie Schindler sends it ahead, and it'll slide into the Maple Grove zone where Coons goes back to play it. And a takeaway behind the net, but a quick cover up. Schindler couldn't get that one aimed at net, and here come the Crimson back with McMahon. Tried to slide it through to Wente, but the back checker got enough over there. Wisniewski. Wisniewski back on her feet. That pass hits a seam, but winds up with Heising. Heising for Urban. Too far. Kampa taking it the other way. Jabbed from Wente briefly by Urban, but she got it back. Kampa getting it to Taylor Wente. She will sweep it in on the backhand and head off on a change. Wisniewski's pass. Now coming back to get it was Ashley Greenshields. They get it in deep into the Maple Grove zone here. Emma Larson back to play it. But another takeaway, and then falling down was Greenshields. A couple times now Maple Grove has tried to reverse the puck behind the net, and Wayzata been able to get a forechecker in to read it and take it away.
Yeah, that's been a good adjustment made by the Trojans here, but unfortunately they just continue to stumble a little bit every time they get up to somebody trips or something bad happens.
Be an icing call here against Wayzata. We will come back into the Trojan zone. You're right there. There's a couple times when it looked like, okay, maybe there's something going to develop here, and it just didn't.
It just kind of fizzles out. Now over the next few years, it ain't going to fizzle out. All of a sudden there's going to be an attack right now. So not to worry. But it can be discouraging. And once you get rolling into a season, Jay, and it continues to happen, it starts to become standard for. And I've seen it happen in a lot of hockey teams that could have been pretty good hockey teams and just really had a rough time of it because of stuff like that.
Looked like they changed their mind on that icing call there. Pass banked ahead. Addie Hackley back to get it here for Wayzata to Hamid. Returns it right back to Hackley. Nice breakout, or the start of it anyway, for the Trojans, but then intercepted at center. Pass out front. Pius, a shot, and Boswell Healy knocked it into her own net. It's 5-0 Crimson. She tried to reach back with the stick and ends up pushing it across the goal line, and Pius will get the goal here for Maple Grove.
Just not much you can say here. The puck comes in, gets in tight, gets a shot off, and she just loses control of it as it skitters across, and a quick reaction trying to stop it. Bounces badly and hits her stick and goes into the net.
Got Stephanie Garvis now coming in to replace Boswell Healy in goal for Wayzata. So a 5-0 game. Olsen will get the assist on Pius's goal. It is her 4th of the year, and as we said, they remove Grace Boswell Healy from the net and come in with Stephanie Garvis. Both of them have played quite a bit this season for the Trojans, and it is kind of a strange night for Grace. It started with that puck that hit, a defender in front and kind of skipped through, and I don't think she was at her sharpest. Obviously, that last one, she was trying to clear it away. Heising got a chance from in close, but it deflects up over the net. Long one on net, and Coco Francis will make a save off the attempt from Mackenzie Schindler there.
Well, here come the Trojans back again, and trying to answer for that. You can see Stephanie's numbers here. 2.90 goals against, which isn't that bad, really. And not too many percentage points from being at 90%. They were kind of looking for somebody to take charge here. They've been kind of working a little bit of a tandem, but they don't want to go into sections that way. They're hoping somebody would grab this goalie job and be the goalie for the section. So it's been a rough night for both of them, actually. So, but we'll see how she bounces back after that goal was scored.
Centering pass here, but a decent back check by Coons denied that shot attempt. Now Maple Grove will ice it. And we will come back into the Crimson zone.
Well, the Trojans now mounting a little bit of an attack here. That's encouraging here, and they've gotten a couple good opportunities. That one with Heising especially, and we'll see if they can pull something together here. Maybe, if they could just get that goose egg off the scoreboard, Jay. That might, change things around for them.
Pass ahead. Here comes Wente firing, and it hits the lower part of the mask there of Garvis. So she gets welcome to the game there with that rising shot that hit really the throat protector there, it looked like.
You think Wente understands a screenshot using the D? Gee.
Now here she comes again after Martinez leaves it for her. Wente's going to fire again. This one goes just wide. It was on the back of the net briefly. Trojans keep it alive. And now this puck will bank out to center. Megan Marshall, a long one. Francis directing that aside with the blocker. Thing is, too, for Maple Grove here, Dan, you can't really afford to let up in this game because you're getting ready for playoffs and everything, too. So they got to keep coming hard here for, at the very least for the first two periods.
Absolutely.
Here's a shot, and Francis trying to find it. Now it squirts loose. I don't think she knew where it was briefly there. Now it comes out front again. They jab at it, and it'll come to Francis. So Wayzata not getting the break that Maple Grove was getting there, and Francis was really not quite sure where that puck was for a moment.
Well, I think we were talking to Coach Gustafson before the game, the last game against Alexander, where they had 48 shots on goal, and they could, couldn't get that many by the goalie. Oh, it was just sitting right there. She lost it.
Good,
underneath her.
Good non-whistle there, too, as it was definitely free.
But the Trojans had just a heck of a time getting the puck in the net.
Hansen putting it out front, deflected wide. I will say this too, and I talked to the Crimson other goaltender, Brianna Blessy, at practice yesterday. Oh, look at this move by Kampa, and she scores! Great goal by Tina Kampa, as they'll make it a 6-0 lead. And to say that Brianna Blessy was saying, you know, and looking back at the last one, that she said that she feels like her team overall and her defensemen maybe don't get enough credit for how well they play in front of Francis and Blessy as well.
True. We identified Hansen, Kampa, and Precker as just 3 outstanding D. And I'll tell you what, you don't get to a state final without having good defense. That's been proven time and time again. And they're fun to watch, and you're right, they do prevent a lot of bad situations from getting in on the goalies.
Delayed offside there against Wayzata, so get a whistle to stop play and come back outside the zone here. 9:33 to go in the middle period.
Well, I think, you know, the other part of this too is, as far as, you know, scoring and keeping the intensity up, this is a varsity hockey game. This is for real. This is playing for something. And they aren't going to turn off the gas here.
Back across to Hansen. And then that pass stolen away there by Maddie McCollins. Hansen, nice stick work to regain possession there for Maple Grove, but then they give it away. Osell carrying it, trying to find Heising. Heising breaks free of the back check behind the net. Heising putting it out. Wisniewski's shot and the deflection there by Osell. I don't think it quite made it all the way to Francis. But they're doing a nice job cycling on this shift here. Osell back out to Wisniewski. They dig for it along the wall here as Hansen trying to tie it up. Got some help from Pius. 8.5 minutes to play in the middle period. It's 6-0 Maple Grove. They led 4-0 after one and have added a couple more. Here's a long slapper. Francis knocking that one out of midair as Megan Marshall took the shot. Back around to Hansen. Maple Grove could stand a line change here. They've been stuck out there for a while. And now they'll get an opportunity to do so as Pius carries it in.
Nice play by Pius as she waited for players to come on out and made a pass so they could keep control and finish the change.
Did a nice job understanding the situation. Rush here for the Trojans. Emily Elias getting the assist on Tampa's goal, her 8th of the season. Takeaway there and thrown behind the net by Chloe Fallon. They fight for it along the wall here, and Crimson able to get it. Casibo looking for Herdine. Back in deep in the Wayzata zone here where Hackley goes back to play it. She is tied up there by Ellie Corbin. But they dig it free, then it's to the line but not out. Now they get it out. And here's Casey Johnson, one-on-one here, cutting it back. Never got a shot away, well defended there. Precker just stood her ground. Now the Crimson coming back hard the other way. Chance for a 3-on-1 out front for Martinez and a goal. Wente waited till just the right time and Martinez just had to flick her wrists and puts it away.
Boy, nice play by Wente here. It started actually with Precker on the backside, stopping that rush. Good pass up to Wente. Look at Wente, she just waited for the last moment. And the goaltender just wasn't quite sure she's going to go for it. You got to pay attention to her. Look at that pass. Boy, right on the stick. Martinez didn't even have to hesitate. She just ripped it in. Pretty play by the Crimson.
Be her 18th of the season. Wente will get the assist. Pass out front is knocked away. And here come the Crimson again. McMahon sliding it across, a redirect, and it goes just wide after Garvis made the first save. Now Trojans trying to answer that shot, denied. Wayzata a little slow on the change here, but they'll get interception at center ice and an opportunity back the other way. Remark dropping the pass back. Stick handling to the front. Oh, Francis, a big save. Is it in? No. Wayzata thought they had scored as Osell made a nice patient move, went to the backhand, and Francis wins the battle.
You know, you just got to get frustrated as a Trojan here where 2 games in a row you're playing some of the finest goaltenders in the state in girls high school hockey here. And obviously Coco Francis is top-notch, one of the best in the state. And it's just going to be tough getting a puck by her, even when they get a great opportunity like that. And they've had a couple of them this period, Joe.
Well, that was the best of all.
Yeah.
I'd say right there. Osell was frustrated. Good look at it, too, because I thought at first, you know, it was a little hard to tell just how close to that goal line it was after it went off her glove. And we got a great look there. Francis never lost sight of it and covered it with that catching glove about 2 inches shy of the goal line. So Osell, great move. There's nothing you'd do different next time, I don't think. Here's a penalty coming up against Maple Grove as we will get a hooking call against the Crimson's number 3, Emily Elias. Yeah, and that could have been a check too.
Yeah, I could have called it a number of ways here. All right, Wayzata, here's a chance. Get on the power play now. Try to get this thing set up, which they failed to do the last time they had one. And get it set up and get a few shots in, especially somebody in front of Francis. And Jay, they're going to have to get somebody in front of her. She sees the puck way too well.
Off the draw, Campa controlling it, but then the Trojans able to double her up and take it away. Now it comes in behind the net where Campa finds room and cannot clear it. Heising does a nice job. Here's Heising breaking free, sliding it across. Wisniewski has a screen, fires, and Francis slid over to get the glove on that one. Might have been headed wide, but that was exactly what you were asking for there. They had a good screen set up. Tried to go short side. No, I think it was on target, and Francis able to slide and, you know, get her vision around that screen to make the play.
But the Trojans finally got it set up, got a nice situation. Oh, no, look at this nice move here.
Firing a hard shot was Urban there. Francis is saved, now sent out front. You know, and even though Maple Grove, I mean, in a way you'd like to just keep dominating, but I think Francis is probably glad for this work to get these quality chances to you know, sharpen herself up for the playoffs too.
Boy, I don't know. I think she probably just rather sit back and have a Diet Coke and sit down and watch the game. You're darn right she does, you know. One thing about Coco Francis, she's a competitor. You know, we've talked to her a few times, and oh my gosh.
Swing and a miss there on the try from Wisniewski. Crimson unable to clear it though as it pops free out front. Still plenty of time in the power play too, and there's a slap shot from the point. Francis gloved that attempt by Megan Marshall, and Wayzata at least getting something established, at least getting something going. I mean, yeah, you don't want to look up and see that number on the scoreboard, but they've had a couple of decent shifts in a row here.
Well, pretty soon, you know, when you start doing things like this, you start smelling it, and pretty soon, bang, one goes in. And they've worked it really well in this power play.
Lifted on out and back into the Wayzata zone. Roll in there, forechecking on the penalty kill. Under a half minute to go now in the power play for Wayzata. They trail this one 7-0, but have gotten their best opportunities here in the last couple minutes. They get things set up on the power play once more here as McCollins. Pass knocked down by Roll. They got a little bit bunched up there, and it allowed Roll to kind of defend 2 players at once. Penalty time just about to expire. Pass is off target, and they rule this an icing as Maple Grove's penalty had just ended. So it will be an icing call against the Crimson. We'll come back into their end of the rink here with 3:14 to go in the middle period, and you see obviously a little relief for Elias, and your team's able to kill off a penalty that you took.
Yeah, it wasn't a good penalty either, so.
No, it was a pretty obvious one.
Yeah.
Like you said at the time, any number of things could have been called on that one. Francis makes the stop. Now the Trojans get to it. Back to 5 skaters aside, but Wayzata a little more jump in their skates than what they've had.
Well, what I like seeing here, Jay, is that Wayzata's making the proper response to the situation. And that's the best power play they've had the whole game. They did a really nice job.
Ellie Corbin's shot is blocked. They pull it free, and now Hamid coming up with it here for Wayzata. Pass knocked down at center. Hansen banking it ahead. And now able to pick it up here is Casibo. Casibo shooting, then a second try. Her first one hit the defenseman. Then Casibo cutting through the slot, and I think Garvis took one in the forehead there.
As I said, is D not liking the fact that that happened. Made sure Casibo got out of that crease pretty quick by hook or by crook.
Players checking with Garvis. Looks like she's all right. It looked like the blade of the stick from Casibo might have conked her pretty good in the forehead there. Here's a centering pass that goes off the side of the net, and Wisniewski leading a possible 3-on-2 here for Wayzata. But McMahon, the back check, and we've got an injured Maple Grove player back in the Wayzata end. So that was the reason for the whistle. And it's Wente. Wow. Not what they were hoping to see, obviously, in this end of the season type game here.
Uh-oh.
I did not see what happened.
I did not either. I don't like the way she's holding that leg, though. Boy, she's such a marvelous player and a good teammate. You really don't want to see something happen to her right now before they go into sections.
See if we can see it all what happens. Away from the play, she just kind of crumbled there.
Okay.
And she's getting up and skating herself, so I was with you, Dan. I thought at first it was definitely something with a leg, but I'm not as sure, and seeing that again. And I don't know. I'm not sure if she maybe took a stick from the Wayzata player as they got tied up, or what exactly happened there. But
well, she kind of clutched her chest there before she went down. It's almost like she lost her breath and stuff and went down.
I wonder if there's a possibility that when they, kind of were jousting with the stick, that a stick might have come up to the, in the throat. It might possibly get you in the throat or something that affects breathing. It was hard to see for sure, but.
I'll tell you right now, I've taken a few there, and that hurts.
Oh, yeah.
That really hurts.
And not only does it hurt, but it kind of stuns you.
Yeah. We'll hope she's okay. Look forward to seeing her back in the game. She's such a wonderful player to watch.
Tampa controlling it here. Kind of a hush fell over the arena a little bit. I don't think anybody was, too sure what exactly had happened there either. Now a chance for a rush for Maple Grove.
Good back check by Heising, I'm sorry.
Played down deep. McMahon is going to be first to it here for Grove, putting it out front, and a goal. Banged home by Martinez. The initial pass hit Garvis's stick, but then Martinez was right there circling through to get her second in a row here for the Crimson.
Well, the Crimson all over the net again. Got buzzing around like bees. Watch this as it comes back around. Oh, Garvis did get it. Went right on the stick of Martinez. Yeah. Oh, my. You want to stop that and throw it back in the corner. You don't want it ever going out in front, because that's what happens.
McMahon will get the lone assist on that goal. Martinez is second of the night, 19th of the year. 8-0 Maple Grove lead. Puck knocked away here, and Marshall gets control. Banked ahead and too far, and it'll be an icing call here. 39 seconds to go in this period. We'll hear from Amber Hegland between periods here as her team in command, to say the least, in this one. We'll also talk playoff hockey. We'll look ahead to get started on Saturday in both Section 5 AA, which Maple Grove is a part of, and Section 6 AA, which Wayzata will skate in. And that one deflects into the Maple Grove player bench there off the glove of Andrea Koons. Battle for it there after the face-off. Hackley back to play it, slides it across for Hamid for Wayzata. They get the pass ahead to Osell. Osell trying to make a move around Campa, but couldn't quite get it done. And we are going to reach the end of the second period. Another dominant one for Maple Grove, as they get 4 in the first, 4 more in the second, and our score through 2 periods here tonight at Plymouth. Maple Grove 8, Wayzata nothing. We will continue with our coverage here of girls hockey on CCX Sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Maple Grove playing very well here through 2 periods, leading Wayzata by a score of 8-0. We're joined by Amber Hegland, the Crimson head coach, and your team got a couple of bounces early in this game, but then really created a lot of chances throughout that second period. You know, I guess safe to say you're pretty happy with the way the team's playing?
Yes, we're actually been focusing on our forecheck a lot, and they've been doing a really nice job of being able to be in spots and turning the pucks over and being in lanes to make it so we're taking passing lanes away and give us every opportunity to take the puck the other way. They're doing a great job of using the entire ice and finding each other and passing the puck and putting the puck in the net.
And then when Wayzata did get a couple of nice chances on the power play, Coco came up with some big saves. Was it nice to see her get some work like that?
Absolutely. Anytime that we can get either of our goalies to watch them make saves, they're just very talented goaltenders and do really nice things for our team, and it's fun to see them compete.
We did see Taylor Wente go down late in the period there, but any update on her? Does it look like she'll be all right?
She's going to be okay. She got a slash, a stick to the throat, and a little bit of a bloody nose. The stick came up underneath, but she's a fighter. She'll be tough and be ready to go.
Your team made a great playoff run last year, and now getting set to try and do so again starting on Saturday. You know, what's it going to take for it to see Maple Grove back in St. Paul again?
A lot. Our girls understand that it's going to be a game of inches, and we've got to be disciplined in making sure that we are taking care of all areas of the ice. Last week we spent a whole bunch of time in our defensive zone, and now we're doing things offensively with our forechecks in the offensive zone and the neutral zone to make sure that we are doing the best job of not giving up any great scoring opportunities, and believe that we will create 1 or 2 opportunities to put the puck in the other net.
Amber, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck in the playoffs too.
Thank you.
Amber Heglin, the head coach of Maple Grove, they lead it 8-0 over Wayzata through 2 periods here. We'll continue with more of our intermission and then drop the puck for period number 3 here on CCX Sports.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Nothing lead here for Maple Grove in our second intermission here as they lead Wayzata in this one, the last regular season game of the season for these two teams, and obviously kind of a lopsided one to end with. Dan here in Maple Grove doing a lot of things well. Wayzata has had some bad bounces and everything too, and you know, we're kind of past the point where you're saying, well, they can chip away and get back in it, but you still want to come out and try and at least win the third period.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, right now, girls, go out and get that goose egg off our scoreboard right now, okay? Let's get the first one here. Let's try and turn it around here. They've had some bad bounces too. Well, the way you fix bad bounces, you play aggressive and start playing better. They've turned the puck over quite a bit in their own zone. Let's stop that. So there's a few goals they can put in play here in the third period that'll get them playing in a situation that'll be a little more competitive. And I think the coaches want to see that now in this last 17 minutes.
Well, we talked about Maple Grove being highly ranked all season long, and they have occupied the #2 spot for a lot of time during the regular season, and right now sitting at #3. Dinah is kind of an unquestioned #1. I think they've beat Maple Grove a couple times and had a good game with Hill Murray. Blaine, who got seated ahead of them, we'll talk about that in a moment, is #4 ranked Eden Prairie. The legendary Elk River Elks at #6. I got to put in a little plug there for my old school. Minnetonka is 7th, Centennial, another Northwest suburban team, is ranked number 8. And of course, looking at the section playoffs, 5AA, you look at how things are shaking up as Blaine, close vote, getting the number 1 seed against Maple Grove getting the number 2 seed. So that means the Crimson will open against one of their former coaches, Jim Coltis, at Champlain Park. And obviously Maple Grove looking to do some damage in the playoffs, but you know, you can't afford to look past anybody. There's quite a few teams that at least could give you some trouble in that 5AA tournament.
Well, yeah, by the name of Blaine and Centennial. And if the Crimson are going to get to the state tournament, they're going to have to go through both those teams. There's no question about it. But they understand, and I think, in a way, not getting the number 1 seed put a little motivation in the old Crimson's idea of, okay, fine, they don't think we're number 1. We can go out on the ice and prove it. The reaction of the girls was basically, okay, fine, let's play them. Let's play them right now.
And Wayzata, of course, will be skating in Section 6AA, where I think you'd have to say there is a clear favorite in this bracket with Edina. I haven't, you know, Cretin-Derham Hall is always the kind of the team on the other side of the river that you don't know as much about. But a few of these other programs just aren't what they have been in past years, including Hopkins, including Wayzata, including Benilde-St. Margaret's. It's not as deep of a section as it maybe once was, and it'd be quite a stunner, I think, if Edina doesn't come out of there.
I would totally agree with you. They're the overwhelming favorite. They've been number 1 for quite a while, and they've proved it. I mean, they literally have gone out and beaten the teams that, you know, in the top 10. So they are the clear favorite in that section without any question. Cretin-Derham Hall, they've played a pretty good schedule. They're a well-known factor. They ain't in the Edina's league. I'm sorry, they really aren't. So it'll be a major, major upset for Edina not to win that section.
And that 6AA tournament is at Parade Ice Garden until the championship, where they move over to Ritter. And the 5AA tournament is all at Roseville Arena. And that again starts Saturday for both of those tournaments. Maple Grove 8, Wayzata nothing. We will have our 3rd period coming up in just a moment. Girls hockey action on CCX Sports.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Nothing Crimson after 2 periods. Both periods 4 goals for Maple Grove, and we'll look at our 2nd period highlights, although they were 2 pretty different periods, even though the scoring was the same. Pass out front here, there's a shot, and oops, knocked into the net by Grace Boswell Healy there, and she was lifted from the game after that one. Then the quick shot by Campa, cutting it to the net. She's got a lot of offensive skill for a defenseman. And then it's Wente carrying the puck, carrying it, and drops it off at the perfect time. Martinez did the right thing there, went right to the front of the net, but then didn't continue on. She allowed a nice passing angle, a nice passing lane there, and just waited for it and put it away. And here's a great chance here for Wayzata, but watch the save by Francis. Got it with her glove and then covered it up just before it could cross the goal line. Alexa Osell frustrated on that one for Wayzata. And Maple Grove getting another one late. Here's McMahon, puts it out front. It was off the goalie stick, and Martinez is there to hammer it home. That one came at 15:30 of the period. And you see the shots on goal kind of misleading, as Maple Grove only a slight edge, but obviously they've had much better of the chances overall. So we will come back and drop the puck for this 3rd period here. I have the feeling that both teams kind of hope it's a quick 3rd period, really. I mean, it's basically over at 8-0. we'll see what develops here at Plymouth, and then the teams will get set for playoff time. You're watching girls high school hockey on CCX Sports.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
And welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Maple Grove holding an 8-0 lead over Wayzata as we get set to begin this third period and get all set, as we said, for playoff hockey coming up. And well, you could really get your money's worth at either Roseville or Parade, even on Saturday. I mean, I'm not saying that all those quarterfinals are necessarily going to be close games, but getting a chance to see a lot of hockey and a lot of different teams. If you know, I think there's obviously most of the fans are coming to watch their team or their daughters play, but at the same time, take the opportunity and see some other teams play too.
Well, there's some hockey fans out there to go out and see good hockey, especially that Section 5 tournament. There ought to be some pretty good games there.
So we begin period number 3 here. Centering pass and grabbed up by Garvis.
Well, I think for Maple Grove here, you take your top 2 lines and you give them a couple shifts here this period, and then let your reserves play. Let the kids who haven't played in a while get an opportunity. Like I said, again, let's fix the things that have gone wrong in this game, in this period, and get better as a team, and hopefully get that goose egg off the scoreboard.
Wisniewski giving it back to McCollins. Her pass knocked away. Heising coming up with it, and she'll have to regroup at center as it slides away on that fresh ice. The puck's really moving and got away from her there. And now it'll pop out of play. I think there was a little bit of anger from Maple Grove, you know, with Wente getting that stick getting up high. You know, whether it was intentional or not, we have no idea. But they were, as they were going to the locker room, they were filing past me, and I think they were a little bit fired up about that. So we'll see if that maybe impacts how this third period goes a little bit. Carried ahead by McMahon. McMahon putting it out front. Wente trying to jam it in. The puck's still loose. Another backhand try, and a nice stop there by Garvis. Crimson gained control again here. McMahon. Now they've passed flip back toward her. Wente playing it out of midair, and Garvis lunging out to cover it up. And of course, we do have running time with a 6-goal or more margin in this third period. So the clock will continue to tick here under most circumstances.
Well, I can see your point, too, as far as them being a little fired up about what happened to Wente, but I still think you give him a break, because, frankly, I don't want anything else to happen to Wente. Exactly. I'm going to need her for the run, you know? So just everybody be cool.
Yep. And you've got veteran coaches, too, that I think understand that. And the shot and the goal! Wayzata is on the board.
There we go.
Casey Johnson carries it up the right side.
Nice play.
And so the Trojans break the deadlock as Johnson will get them on the board.
Just a nice move here and gets it in. I think she went top shelf on that one and got it up over Coco Francis. This will be a good angle. Nice move right there. Took the D right out of her skates. Yep, got a lower corner there, right? So Coco Francis left an opening on the short side. There you go. There's one of your sophomores stepping up, Jay, getting that goose egg off the board.
So 4th goal of the year for Casey, and Makes it an 8-1 hockey game. That goes off the side of the net here. Spinning away with it is Wisniewski. Sent back in deep and over to the corner. Fresh off the bench. First to it there for Maple Grove was Grace Ford. Gets away from Russo, and the Crimson get it back. Now a long pass ahead, but just a little bit off target. Hamid carrying it for Wayzata. She's in there alone as they're changing. Got the pass away. Heising controlling it. Crimson able to break it out, but now Hackley intercepts at center and sends it back in. They'll have to touch up. They were offside there. Long rink wide pass connects and thrown back into the Wayzata zone as Maple Grove will get a quick line change. Heising on the move here for Wayzata. Dropping it back. Hamid turns and puts it toward the goal, and Francis directs that one aside. So Francis won't get her shutout here tonight, but obviously has made a couple big stops. Heising falling, but kept it alive in the offensive zone there.
Took a little stick shot on the leg there and kind of collapsed her a little bit. They'd like to see her get going. It'd be nice if she could get a goal for them tonight.
Back out to the point, and Francis will glove that one off the stick of Addie Hackley, and another of those talented freshmen for Wayzata.
You know, when you look at it, you know, that's been an encouraging part of them, that, you know, sophomore gets the goal here now, and the freshman's their second leading scorer in the team, and, you know, granted they've had trouble scoring goals this year, but still, just to see them stepping up to the plate here bodes well for their future.
Takeaway behind the net, put out front, but nobody could get to it as Ashley Greenshields tried to set him up. Here comes Campa now for Maple Grove. Campa carrying it in behind the net. Drops a nice pass off as they look to cycle it around. Back out to Campa. They move the puck very quickly. Martinez works her way free and now gets the pass away. Nice spinorama there from Manon McMahon into the circle, looking out front. It's chopped away from Wente, and they'll have to regroup at center as Hansen goes back to get it and gets the return from Campa. Flipped into the Wayzata zone. It was briefly caught up in the equipment of Marshall. Now Campa stick handling at center, throws it ahead there for McMahon.
You know what's really fun about watching Campa play, Jay? She just doesn't make mistakes. You know, they give her the puck, she gets things changed and organized, puts the pass or the puck where it should be. I mean, we've seen a couple passes where she's bouncing off the boards knowing that the players flowing through will get to it before the Wayzata players. She's just such a smart player.
Yeah, sees the ice real well too. I mean, she has an idea what she's going to do with the puck before it's actually quite to her, and that's obviously a sign of the good ones. Thrown into the Maple Grove zone. Emma Larson back to play it there, reversing it around there for Precker, but it was knocked away. And almost a little takedown there. Now a shot attempt was blocked. Ellie Corbin trying to clear it, and now will chip it out to center. Chloe Fallon back to play it. Nice pass across to Wisniewski. And then that one failed to connect. Precker taking it the other way here for Maple Grove. Her pass off a skate there of Heising. And flip back into the Wayzata zone here. Not quite the intensity that some of these Maple Grove Wayzata matchups have had because of the lopsided score. This kind of got to be a pretty good rivalry.
Yeah.
And I think coming up through youth, probably same, but right now in this particular night, Maple Grove in command. Hansen, now Heising knocks it away. Lost her glove in the process. Picked up at center by Hackley, but then taken back. And an opportunity here for Maple Grove. And the shot attempt goes just wide off of Chloe Corbin's stick, the freshman. Both her and the defender, Heising, went down hard. Pass out front, blocked by Hansen, and then Francis will cover it up here, and we might have penalties coming up, do we?
Yeah, we might. It just got a little intense, actually. Nope.
Nope, maybe not.
Nope. But there's been a little stick work going on, and a little coming at you in your face here. There, nice shot.
Francis making the save on that strong point shot. Here comes Aaron Roll getting it ahead, and now takes the return from Pius. Roll firing, and a blocker save by Garvis there. 8:10 to go in the hockey game, and running time here in this third with this 8-1 margin for Maple Grove. Pass drop back to the point. Now slide it across. Took a little time to control it, and that allowed Osell time to get out and block it. Now flicking it ahead. Green Shields with it, but had no help and gives it up there trying to get it out front. Green Shields trying to win it back, and now here's Wisniewski. And she throws it all the way through the crease there. Russo back to pick it up for Wayzata. Shot attempt fanned on there by Schindler. Casey Johnson, who has Wayzata's only goal, picking it up. Battle for it right near the blue line. And now it'll come free to Hansen in the corner for the Crimson. Trying to win their 20th game of the year, and obviously the length of a high school season, anytime you win 20, that's been a pretty good year.
Oh, I'd say.
Trojans bring it in now as they did a nice job staying on side. That one deflected. It's still loose alongside the net. Roll controlling for Maple Grove. Will whip it around for Martinez.
What's impressive about that total too, Jay, is that a lot of those wins have come against top 10 teams in the state. You know, there have been no nights off for the Crimson.
Floated back into the Maple Grove zone here, where Precker will pick it up as Wayzata finishing up a change. Heising throwing it to the middle. McMahon steals it though. McMahon has a head of steam going to the net, but just couldn't quite control it as she split between the 2D. Now she comes out front, gets a little screen, fires. Nice save, Garvis. Puck loose. Another save by Garvis in close on Wente. And now Urban controlling it for Wayzata, but that one knocked down. Precker picking it up. Heising doing battle with her in the corner. McMahon gains control here for the Crimson.
Oh. Well, that sophomore has got some real nice moves. I'll tell you what, she cleaned that thing up and got the puck out.
Dump back in here by Wayzata. Wente tipping it to McMahon. Throws it back to the D. Campa tried to get it to McMahon, but she was heading off on a change, and they were close to having too many players. Good discipline there to avoid that for Maple Grove. Nice little move there, and the pass and just knocked away before Ellie Corbin could line it up to shoot. Another opportunity though. Here's a shot. That one might have went off the side of the mask, it looked like, of Garvis. Played back down to the corner. Crimson out of there with it, and a redirect out front goes just wide as Herdine got a piece of it. Now a backhand try and a save made, and then Remark gets bounced down there. And cooler heads will prevail here, and actually a little hug there. Kind of nice to see that. So we will get a face-off in the Wayzata zone here. We approach 4 minutes to go. Obviously a rapid third period with this running time all throughout. Put out front there, and Garvis directs that one aside. Trojans getting a rush started, but Johnson had it slip away from her. Intercepted there by Larson for Maple Grove. Into the Wayzata zone, and they kick to the corner, and we're going to get a penalty on Wisniewski right there.
Yep.
As she will be called for a body check.
It's kind of going right to the box, knowing that, but.
See, the puck was kind of caught up in the skates there, and she just angled her off pretty hard.
Well, she got the elbow in the way, and then she kind of dipped the hip. And I think that's Wayzata's first penalty, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'll get a chance to see the Maple Grove power play now. 38%. 25% is good. 38% is outstanding. It's lethal.
So the Crimson getting things set up here. Pius playing it down low. They work that left side, kind of overload, and see if they can get Wayzata stretched out. Now back out to Campa, swings it right back. And that one deflecting wide.
Good discipline by the Trojans here. They're not going to let them get stretched out.
Brecker shooting, pad save, rebounds loose, and Wayzata's Heising able to get it out. Tina Campa back to play it here for Maple Grove as she starts it back up ice. Drops the pass off as she collides with a Wayzata player there, McCollins. Back out high comes to Campa. Here's Precker. Campa is going to tee it up, and it deflects way up over the net. And flipped up into the bleachers there as it makes a loud bang in the empty seats there.
Well, nice power play set up by the Maple Grove Crimson. Setting up Campa up top for a really nice shot. You know, she's not even 5 foot tall, and she can rip that thing like it's all get out.
Off the draw, Maple Grove able to control it. Here's Wente. Drops it back. Campa is going to let it fly again and into the catching glove there of Garvis. That'll eat up the remaining penalty time on Wisniewski here. There's another look. Campa rising drive there.
Well, good kill by the Trojans here. They've done a pretty good job this year killing penalties.
Hamid trying to get that pass ahead and does so nicely there to Osell. Osell, a good strong stick there to keep it through the first defender anyway, but then knocked away. Emma Larson controlling for Grove. Nice step up by Hackley to break up that rush. And it'll roll back into the Wayzata zone here. 20 seconds to play in the hockey game as Maple Grove is going to win its 20th game of the season in convincing fashion here as they lead it 8-1.
Well, they're looking section ready, Jared. They really are.
So best of luck to both teams as they head into section play. Again, Wayzata will take on Benilde-St. Margaret's in the 6AA quarterfinals on Saturday at Parade Ice Garden. And Maple Grove will be taking on Champlain Park in the 5AA quarterfinals that same day at Roseville Arena. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's telecast here from Plymouth Ice Center. For Dan Ficken and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Again, your final is Maple Grove 8, Wayzata 1. Good luck the rest of the way up.